Trusting God. What does that mean when you trust me? Like, what if the song that made this penetrate in my mind and realized it was something to really consider was Donnie McClurkin's song, Will You Trust Me? He said, what if I ask you to let go of the very thing you think you need to hold? Will you trust me? What if the thing that you love so much was gone? Will you trust me? And a lot of times people say, yes, Lord, I'll trust you. But when you going through, did the trust in God disappear? So, I remember I was having a stroke, TIA, because it wasn't a full-blown big boy. And I was, naturally scared. Don't know what's happening. Weird flex. But I remember the doctors, everybody thought I was crazy. Because I was like, listen, I'm telling me, don't panic. I'm just going through something. And all I got to do is breathe. I'm not having no panic attacks. I'm not anxious. Because I didn't want them giving me no medicine trying to think I'm having a panic attack. Next thing you know, the people didn't kill me. But I had to really trust God that no matter how crazy I sound to other people, if I would have not stood in that truth of what I was experiencing, well, I probably wouldn't be here now. And it required a level of trust in God that, in this walk, sometimes God will challenge you in some ways where it's just like, even with the person that is in your life or that you might even be, considering for your life. And, God is challenging us. It's like, okay, well, are you just going to accept something to have something? Or are you going to make sure that you and this person actually make sense together, that you work together? And if not, do you trust me that if you was by yourself, you're going to be okay? And yes, I'll trust you, Lord. I don't know how it always works out. I just don't, but it always works out. Trusting in God has become probably one of the most, it is like really the most valuable tool that I have in my arsenal, is understanding that I don't have to kowtow and bow to people and, worry about anything I'm going to get. I just know in my soul that no matter what, this is already done. Provision has already been made, and I can't be afraid to just walk up to life, because if I worry about what's going to happen when I get there and how I'm going to get there and all those things, well, I can't really see what it is that's right there for me when I get there. We live in a pretty busy area. But really learning to be able to trust God, that even with the people that you love the most, He say, they don't serve your greatest interest. I know that you love them. I know you want them to be everything you want them to be. But can you trust me that I won't steer you wrong? But I'm trying to remove people from your life that would say they love you but really cause you harm. I remember in the beginning, trusting God wasn't no easy job. Because, like anybody that's baby in faith, it's like, ooh, you taking steps, and it's like, okay, I remember when it was all right not to see, you get a little space, but then when it's these big gaps of space where you have no idea what's ahead, and you just got to keep on walking through life, telling yourself and accepting the very real truths, not trying to make things different than what they are, really discerning the nature of the relationship, seeing people for exactly who they are, not trying to, justify or qualify people, but just accepting that this is the lot. And then sometimes God say, come out from amongst them. And you got to trust them not to look back. Sometimes you trying to get out from underneath them. And they won't let you go. They don't want you but don't know what to do without you. And so they lack of trust in God becomes is on display at that point. But trust in God is like, it's just that knowing that no matter what in life I could be dealing with, going through, there is no way in the world I have to worry about it. Because I don't need to know the way through. God already do. And so I can rely on God. Coming into the place to trust in God where I remember I was scared to really actively have this relationship with God, to actively, start to be able to have a coherent communication, not a one-way line, but it was like I found something inside that it was like, this is really God talking to me too, like instructing me and directing my path, teaching me and making me understand the ways of God, challenging me, like sometimes creating scenarios where I used to think like I'm a little bit going crazy, but it was like, no, they was challenges to see how I was going to respond, how much I was going to continue to emotionally respond to, things that I couldn't see, reacting to every little thing and giving up every ounce of power and every ounce of ground that I had because so concerned about things that I had no control over or could change. And one day it just clicked, like, man, forget all of these people. Don't you even worry about it. If they're going to be there, they're going to be there. But what is paramount is that I trust God and that He knows that inner thing, the thing that's activated inside me, the thing that tells my intuition, no, you got to be sharp, that tell my eyes, nah, you seen that over there, telling my ears, nah, don't act like you can't hear. Understanding that it's an activated spirit, but it's not a spirit of fear. You know what Les Brown say, fear is false evidence appearing real. And I can't live my life by the dictates of fear, of what I might not have and what might go away, because for as much things as can, go wrong, well, that many things can also go right. But if I'm anticipating things to go wrong, well, it's more likely that it's going to go wrong. But if I trust that God got it, it seemed like I just find a way to keep going on. And I realize that it's not by my own might, but it's that the reliance and the trust that I have in God that enables me to carry on. This is the power and the access that we have, but it is the posture and the way that we show up in life, how we relate to God. If we keep on looking at God as a, invisible sky daddy, something that we can't access, that, we get these temporary fixes from God and then we got to go back to being by ourselves. But it's like, nah, God is always with us. He said, I'll never leave you, I'll never forsake you. He mean it. The words is real. And I'm so grateful that I have come into this level of relationship. It's very different than anything I could have ever imagined being in a relationship with God would be like. But man, it's an intimacy, it's a love like nothing I could have imagined. And every day it's like I just come to trust God more and more, knowing I'm relying on the source that it's like this maternal spring that springs up in me with answers to whatever has to happen next. Preparing me, helping me prepared. Like, like shaping and molding me, making me into what God is going to have me be. Trusting God, boy. Trusting Him. Said that if you can keep your eyes fixed on me, I'll keep you in perfect peace. And it just made me think when Jesus had told Peter to come out on that water. And as long as he was looking straight ahead, he was just fine. Now looking to the left and right, start seeing no waves. You gotta understand the middle path is the path of the gods. And it's the path that goes straight through you. It's like knowing that no matter how scary you think it is to go inside and see you, part of the trust in God is just knowing that, nah, if you go in there, God is with you. But you can't be tricked when, you in that spiritual places and, the book say resist the devil and he have to flee. Trust me, you going to be tested in that way. Shoot, if Jesus was tested that way, you think the devil ain't coming to test you too? Oh, he coming. But you resist the devil and the devil have to flee. The devil ain't got no power. He don't got no power whatsoever except by way of me. If we don't give the enemy power, the enemy ain't got none. And this is the level of trust that we have to have in God, where it's like, man, this joke can really, all I gotta do is ignore this thing. It's not real. Who could accuse me? And I'm standing right here with God. Only one can answer for me is me. Why would I worry about what anybody's got to say? God can see everything. And so many people, they say they believe in God, but they can't deal with the spirit world. Excuse me. What is God again? I'm just saying. Trusting God is paramount in this walk. Trusting that no matter what it looks like, no matter what I'm going through, I got to trust God as I go through. And if I could trust God, then God gets me through. Ensuring that, yes, as I'm enduring, what used to feel like labor and hard work is just like, man, come on, I'm just going through. And you go through because you can get through. This is what trusting God could do for you. Peace that surpasses all understanding. No more anxiety. Be anxious for no things. God giving you the ability to know things. Eyes to see around corners, vision that's much bigger than anything that you could ever imagine before. At least this is my story. I don't know what anybody else's story would actually be. You got to go inside yourself, find God, and see. And know that this is about a trust thing. You don't got to be scared of nothing if you believe that God is with you. And if God is for you, what could be against you? As you go through the spiritual challenges, when you come, when the enemy come across your path, your weapon that you got, that you don't even have to think about, just resist him and he got to flee. That negativity, I don't gotta hear that. That ain't got nothing to do with God. Get up on that out of here, Slewfoot. Gone. The end. And if he try to poke a nag, get you. It's taking control over that inner conflict that we got inside of ourselves. I wish people could see the book more like, I believe the book is describing. It's more of a story about our DNA, the way we operate. Like things that, I don't know what happened to me, but I was outside today gardening and something bit me. something did me today. You know them bugs, they like to come up on you messing with you. They said, you out here messing with us, you out here in this dirt. But yes, it's time to get ready to put the bulbs down in the ground, so in the early spring we're gonna have some nice pretty flowers around. And then when the spring comes, you put the bulbs down so you got some nice fall flowers. We little by little building it up, making it nice. But trusting in God, knowing that God got it, everything got to be all right. Trusting in God, knowing that as long as I'm telling the truth, He's gonna show me. He's gonna illuminate my path.